for an easy life because there is no growth of my powers there. The thumbnail for tonight's review is titled, Don't Wish for an Easy Life. If you wish for an easy life, then you are not ready to experience growth. You are not ready to experience greatness. It doesn't come with ease. Muhammad Ali says, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. Did Muhammad Ali become a champion or not? Yes, he did. This is chapter 12 of the 5 a.m. Club. You are welcome to another exciting review. Chapter 12 is titled, The 5 a.m. Club Discovers the Habit Installation Protocol. The Habit Installation Protocol. At this point, the artist and the entrepreneur are ready to learn the habit installation protocol that is going to set them apart, that is going to make them great in life. They are going to learn how the most productive leaders and performers on the planet install the habit. At this point, they are even ready to stay extra days because what they are learning is invaluable. And that is what we're also learning tonight. Right. So, Mr. Riley is ready to take them through the Spellbinder's insight on installing the peak performance regimes that will help them to activate the greatness in business and in life. I hope you are ready for this too. So you'll be picking it as we proceed. And yet he says that what makes the best is not their genetics, but their habits. If you have not yet cultivated the habits that will make you great in life, then it is not too late to start. It is not about your gift. It is not about your skill. It is not about your talent. It is not about your genetics. It is about your habits. Somebody who is not as talented or as skillful as you can be greater than you, even though you are more talented. If they stick with the habits that will make them great, they will be. They will be. Some of these things can be learned. Yes, and we have seen it time and time again. So today's lesson will walk you through what the science and research tell us that we must do to let go of the behaviors that weaken us and to code in the ones that will serve us. Right. So we are going to be learning about grit. That is one of the things that we're going to be learning about. And what is grit? Grit is a term popularized by social psychologist Angela Duckworth, who studied elite performance in the fields of business, education, the military, and sports. And she found that what makes the most successful achievers so great is not their inherent talent, but their levels of commitment, discipline, resilience, and perseverance. Grit is a word to describe these traits. So if you are disciplined, you're committed, you're resilient, and you can persevere, then you've got grit. And you're going to be great in life. Nobody has ever said it is going to be easy. But of course, you want to stand out. You want to be where a lot of people do not want to be. Albert Einstein wrote, great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. The mediocre mind is incapable of understanding the man who refuses to bow blindly to conventional prejudices and chooses instead to express his opinions courageously and honestly. If you want to be great in life, be ready for opposition. Those who are singing your praises, they are going to stand against you. They're going to call you names. They're going to say you are crazy, you are delusional. If you give in to their harassment, then that is it. You have to be courageous. You have to be bold. People who are great in life are bold. They don't listen to naysayers. They are not moved by other people's opinions, because those who are down will always try to pull you down. It is very difficult for anybody down or anybody, up to lift people up, but it is much easier for somebody down to pull you down. Right. So, open up your heart. You're going to learn about so many things. And I really, really hope that you are getting inspired already. Listen to this. The hero does not become great during periods of comfort. The illustrious and noble souls of our world became strong, brave, and moral while standing resolutely in the storms of adversity, difficulty, and doubt. It is in the moment that you face your deepest weakness that you receive the chance to forge your greatest strength. Real power then comes, not from a life of ease, but of intense effort, devoted discipline, and demanding action in the direction of what your supreme self knows what is right. To continue at a time when you ache to stop, to advance when you long to quit, to persist in the instant when you feel like giving up is to claim your membership among the great warriors and honorable characters who led humanity to a better place through their earned invincibility. So you have seen here, you are not going to be comfortable if you want to get to the top. People who are doing great things, who are strong, they didn't get there by being lazy, by being weak. So as they were speaking, they handed over to them pashmina shawl. And on that shawl was written the 531 creed. This is one that you also need to pay attention to. The 531 creed of the willpower warrior was sewn into that shawl. It was stitched into it and crafted. And what does this mean? The 531 creed. So 5 there means the 5 scientific truths behind excellent habits. What are these 5 truths? Truth 1 says world-class willpower isn't an inborn strength, but a skill developed through relentless practice. Getting up at dawn is perfect self-control training. That is truth 1. Truth 2 says personal discipline is a muscle. The more you stretch it, the stronger it grows. Therefore, the samurais of self-regulation actively create conditions of hardship to build their natural power. They intentionally put themselves in challenging positions just to build their power, to bring the finest and the best out of them. Truth 3 says, like other muscles, willpower weakens when tired. Recovery is therefore absolutely necessary for the expression of mastery and to manage decision fatigue. Rule 4 says, truth 4, says installing any great habit successfully follows a distinct 4-part pattern of automation of the routine. Follow it explicitly for lasting results. And here is truth 5. Increasing self-control in one area of your life elevates self-control in all areas of your life. That is why joining the 5 a.m. club is the game-changing habit that will lift everything else that you do. If you are able to master self-control in one area of your life, then you can master self-control in all other areas of your life. If you can discipline yourself to start waking up at 5 a.m., then you see that your body, your soul, your spirit, everything about you will start getting conditioned to respect your own rules, to do those things that are necessary for your growth. And that is 5 from 531 creed. Now, what does the 3 there stand for? It stands for the 3 values of heroic habit makers. Value 1 says victory demands consistency and persistency. Value 2 says following through on what is started determines the size of the personal respect that will be generated. And value 3 says the way you practice and practice is precisely the way you perform once you're in public. So there is no magic. You've not been putting in the work in your secret place. You've not been doing your homework. Then there is no way you're going to shine in public. It is just the truth. And 1 in 531 creed says the number 1 general theory of self-discipline patterns. And this is what the general theory says. It says to regularly do that which is hard but important when it feels most uncomfortable is how warriors are born. It's a general rule of self-discipline. You do what you need to do even when it feels most uncomfortable. So don't wish for an easy life. The billionaire says, I don't wish for an easy life because there is no growth of my powers there. Give me a challenging life, one that brings out the finest about greatness. remain in your comfort zone, then enjoy the comfort and forget about victory. You cannot be among champions. Champions are born out of sweat, pain, tears. That's just the truth. You want it easy, yet you want it great and fantastic. It is not possible. Those two cannot coexist. Right. So study the 5 scientific truths and the 3 values along with the 1 general theory that make up the 531 creed. The 5 scientific truths are behind excellent habits, the 3 values of heroic habit makers, and the number 1 general theory of self-discipline Spartans. Right. The billionaire also told them the story behind the Taj Mahal, a very magnificent building in India. He told them how that building came about. He said, that there was this man, an emperor, Mughal Taj Mahal, in love with his wife. So when his wife died in the year 1631, he really wanted to show his devotion, his love towards his wife. So he determined within himself that he was going to build something magnificent that the world had never seen. And so he started doing that. He brought laborers together. They started working on this. Guess how long it took them? It took them 22 years to construct this building. 22 years. 2 decades and 2 years. Not 22 days, not 22 weeks or months. 22 years. They did it painstakingly. Workers toiled in this scorching Indian sun. Block of marble by block of marble, carried from immense distances by over 1,000 elephants. The army of craftsmen steadily erected the structure you're seeing. You can't see here though. You can go and Google it. Just Google Taj Mahal, Taj, then Mahal, Taj Mahal. They faced architectural roadblocks, environmental extremes, unexpected tragedies along the way. Yet they were focused. They were fearless. They were relentless. They were dazzling committed to doing whatever it took to get the emperor's gorgeous dream done. You have a dream, but once you come across a roadblock, you say, I'm giving up. I can't kill myself. Well, you're not going to kill yourself, but then you're going to remain a mediocre. It took them 2 decades and 2 years, but then they completed this building. They completed the structure, and humankind was given one of the greatest products of poetic audacity it has ever received. The Taj Mahal is such a direct metaphor that you need to understand, to learn that staying with the commitment to a new habit through whatever hardships show up and remaining sincere to your ideals, not only in the seasons of comfort, but especially when it gets terrifically difficult. Can you start something and then stay committed to it? So many people will join a reading club. Oh, I want to start reading. I want to be great. But halfway through, they give up. So many people want to start saving. Oh, I want to be wealthy. Let me start saving and investing. But then just a little challenge. They throw in the towel. They give up. Like I said, that is why greatness is not common. That's why a lot of people are not standing out. It takes a lot for you to stand out because we are too many in the world. We are so many. Let me not say too many. We are so many. Billions of us are in the world. So you want to stand out, you want to shine through. Then you must be able to do what other people are not willing to do. It's not going to come easy. Right? Dreams don't come true while you're sleeping. Ambitions without implementation is a ridiculous delusion. You must know what you want. It requires generous amounts of industry, artistry, persistency. Mastery is not a sudden event. It really is a ceaseless process that may take years of painstaking craftsmanship, practice, sacrifice, and suffering before the finished project intensifies to a level that moves the world. It is not easy. But if you want it, you have to go for it. Anyone can be great for a minute. Anyone can be great for a day. Anyone can be great for a season. But it really takes heroes to sustain that greatness. Not to be distracted. It takes heroes. The sport of icons is sustaining genius' great performance. Right. So make sure that you get that grit, the discipline, the commitment, the persistency that you need to stand out in the world. He also said, I had been brought up on the popular belief that the secret. Okay, here, let's learn this. Let me go back a little bit. Many decades ago, Albert E.N. Gray delivered an address for salespeople in the insurance industry. He called it the common denominator of success. And it distilled what the author had identified over 30 years of study as the greatest key to fortune in one's business, family, health, financial, and spiritual life. So what is this common denominator of success? It is not your skill. It is not your talent. It is not even hard work. There are so many people who are working hard, but they are not succeeding. That's just the truth. So the common denominator of success lies in the fact that you must form the habits of doing things that failures don't like to do. Successful people form the habits of doing those things that failures don't like to do. Failures want to sleep. They want to lounge. They want to watch TV. They want to scroll on social media. They don't want to do the hard work. They don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. They don't want to subscribe to delayed gratification. They just want it easy. So you want to do the opposite. Painstakingly. Self-control, discipline, commitment. People can't even understand why you are so hell-bent on achieving this thing. Just like the construction of Taj Mahal for 22 years. I can imagine what people would have said. What are they pursuing for 22 years? Imagine a child that was born when they laid the foundation of that building. And that child was 22 years when they completed it. So many people would have said all sorts of things. So many people would have died even before the structure was completed. Yet, they refused to give up. They saw it to completion. That is the kind of spirit that you need to have. Top producers make it a habit to do the high-value activities that average ones don't feel like doing. Even when they too, they don't feel like doing them. Listen, top producers also don't feel like doing them. They get tired. They want to give up. But they continue regardless. And by practicing the desired behavior over and over again, by overcoming your comfort, your laziness, your weakness, these habits become automated. It becomes your second nature. Even your body adjusts to it. Maybe now you're telling yourself, I can't be waking up at 5 a.m. But then try it and your body is going to adjust to it. Don't tell yourself a lie. The first insight that is being offered here is that your brain is constructed for expansion. But oftentimes you will tell yourself over and over, I'm an adult, I can't get used to this behavior. I've been waking up at 7 a.m. all my life. Why should I now start waking up at 5 a.m.? You will tell yourself all kinds of lies. And your mind will also agree with you. It's true. Even your body will say, come on, do you know your age? You want to start waking up at 5 a.m. for what? It's not that hard. It's not that deep. Sleep some more. But your brain is wired for expansion. Your brain is like a muscle. Our brain is like a muscle. If you stretch it, it will stretch. If you flex it, it will expand. It will expand to accommodate your new normal. That is just the truth. So if you want to stretch your brain, if you want to start doing the things that you are not used to doing, it is possible. Don't allow anybody to tell you otherwise. Stop believing the rationalization that, hey, it's not possible. Believe in the psychology of possibility, that your brain can expand, that you can form good habits. Habits that will make you one of the top producers in life, regardless of your age, regardless of what you are already used to. For those showing up as victims each morning and every day, the future will be very hard. The future will be hard on them. It will be dangerous and frightening because they don't know what will hit them. They don't know yet what's gonna hit them. I hope you are not one of them, because I'm clearly not one of them. I'm not a victim of life. I'm not a victim of circumstances. They don't know what will hit them. And they will be so absolutely unprotected to deal with the environmental, economic, and societal upheaval that is coming. Yet for the dedicated minority who have habituated a battle-proofed morning routine to defend their gifts, cultivated heroic personal restraint, and developed a bulletproof character through the rigorous training of their muscles of self-discipline. The times ahead will be phenomenally rich, harmonious, and ultra productive. No amount of fasting and prayer will save them. Oh. Even God respects principles. If you like, sleep in church, do video, fast until you have ulcer. If you don't do the needful, success will run away from you like this. You think that it's a plague. They don't know what's coming. Right. So don't allow yourself to believe that you cannot start cultivating a good habit. You can start waking up at 5 a.m. Okay, maybe you start gradually. Right, start setting your alarm earlier, maybe 30 minutes earlier each time, or 15 minutes earlier, or 10 minutes earlier, until you get there. You can do it little by little. Apply the law of least effort, to get to that point. Don't rush it. Allow your body to start getting into it gradually, gradually, gradually. But it takes a lot of discipline. Otherwise, you are going to give up before you even start at all. Don't stop giving excuses. Stop manufacturing series of excuses. Oh, I can't do it. It's not possible. No. Stop telling yourself that you cannot become a member of the 5 a.m. club. Science now confirms that our brains can continue to grow throughout our lives. This beautiful phenomenon is called neuroplasticity, and it speaks to the fact that the human brain, like personal willpower, is a lot like a muscle. It can stretch. You can make it stretch. You can push it. You can flex it, and it will extend. It will expand. It becomes more potent for your use in the tallest expression of your most radiant gifts. It's going to serve you. Your brain is going to get used to your new habits. You don't have the brain you want. You have the brain that you have earned. The way your brain is responding right now is exactly how you have been using it. If your brain is used to being dormant, your brain is used to just scrolling aimlessly on social media or just listening to people, just taking in information. You are not actively teaching anybody. You are not getting out of a comfort zone. You are not challenging yourself. You are not reading. You are not doing any research. Your brain is going to become docile. Your brain will only remain where you leave it. If you don't want stress for it, it won't stress itself on its own. That's just the truth. So you don't have the brain that you want. You have the brain you earned. You don't have the brain that you desire. You have the brain that you deserve. Based on how you've been operating it, spend your days diverted by your devices, theater to television, and majoring in mindless pursuits, and your brain will be weak and flabby through your mistreatment of it. The way you use your brain is the way it's going to deliver to you, just like other muscles. If you use your muscle well, you exercise, go to the gym, you run, you jog, your muscles will become active and strong. They respond to your use. They don't have any power on their own. They can remain dormant if you want them to be. But if you use them, then they'll work for you in your favor. When you use your brain intelligently by expanding its limits and running it like a titan, it will expand and increase its connectivity, causing important gains in your productivity, performance, and influence. That's the truth. So start using your brain. Start stretching it. Start reading. Start doing those things that are uncomfortable, those things that are challenging. Challenge yourself. Set a target for yourself. I want to do this. I want to read this number of books. Stop looking for things that are easy. Stop running behind people. They have done it. When you attend meetings, you ask people to talk. What are they saying? They say, he has said it all. Who has said it all? Why can't you say your own? Engage your brain. Stretch it. Use it to think. Formulate new habits, good habits, and your brain will also respond to you. This is where we're going to stop tonight. I hope that you're inspired, and not just that, you are motivated. Right. Thank you so much for joining me on tonight's review. Please don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me, and please subscribe to this channel in case you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. Come together again tomorrow by God's grace as we continue the review of chapter 12. We are not done. We are not done with chapter 12. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow by God's grace. Be intentional. Bye. You're welcome. You're welcome.